Julian, what's up, man? Good morning.
Hey, morning, Stu. How are you guys?
Doing good. It's we chose a poor day to do this because we had the daylight savings time spring forward, and everyone forgot that instead of it being like 4 o'clock our times, and now it was like 3 o'clock. And anyways, good morning to you, and thanks for being on here before we go to work on a Sunday morning.
No
So
problem.
Julian and I have to actually go do our military jobs this morning, but we wanted to hit him up and see how his experience has been so far with the War Room Mastermind. So, Julian, just first, kind of tell us a little bit about your business and what your focus is.
Yeah, so I'm all about short-term rentals, so I decided to really invest heavily into that niche. Got a couple podcasts where we talk about Airbnb and short-term rentals and like how to build a property management company off of that. We teach people how to do it, themselves. We provide educational resources as well, so we teach people, and we also manage other people's properties for them. So we offer full service short-term rental property management, and also different investment vehicles that you can do, such as like turnkey rental arbitrage, which is something that we kind of coined. But it's a super fun niche to do. There's a lot of interest in the space. I just kind of saw the opportunity to go after it. Just spending all my time when I'm not working doing that.
That's great, man.
Mm. And where and how did you get started on this journey?
Yeah, it's a good question. I've spent the past about 5 years, so a year after I entered the Coast Guard, um, I dropped out of rescue swimmer school, and that's what I originally joined for. But then my dad's cancer came back, and when I dropped out of swimmer school, I had the choice to either go to go back to Maine or to go back home. And I decided to go back home to spend more time with my family. I was kind of put in this position where it's like, I wanted to be in the Coast Guard to really save lives, but at that point, I realized that I wanted to spend more time with my family because I knew my dad's time was pretty limited, and I felt at that point like I had to keep working. I almost like didn't have a choice. Like if I didn't get stationed back home with my family, my dad would have passed away, and I would have never been with him. I think it was at that point I realized that I needed to get my time freedom back. And as good as the Coast Guard's been to me so far, I know that my time is also limited. Like I don't have the freedom to choose where I end up or what I'm going to do the rest of my career, and also how much I'm going to get paid. My dad had to fly back to Japan to get his medical done, and it was only because of the support of some friends and family that I was able to afford to be able to take my mom and go to Japan. But since then, I've just been working hard. I've tried a bunch of different businesses for the past like 5 years that I've been in, doing a bunch of different things. Failed at every one of them, and I did mobile home investing, real estate, forex, Bitcoin. Got my license, my real estate license. I did all that, but it wasn't until I got into short-term rentals and Airbnb that I quickly saw my income, replace my income, and now we're building a team, we're building a company, and all this while I'm still active duty, so it's pretty life changing.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Yeah, the stuff you're posting in our group is pretty amazing. It's motivating, and so let's transition to talk about our mastermind group. David and I started the real estate war room mastermind, and you were pretty quick to join our group. So, what made you join a mastermind? In general, and specifically the war room.
Yeah, it's I've known David for a little while, both being podcasters. David was like, "Hey, you should go to FinCon." I did that, and then David says, "Hey, I'm starting a mastermind group," and we're also both military YouTubers. So I had another channel where I was talking about military stuff. So there's a natural bond when it comes to the military people. and David and I just had so much in common that, when he said that he was creating something like this, I was just like, man, a bunch more people like David, that's gonna be so cool. And because it's tough, I work at my unit, and there's people that talk about real estate. They might have an idea, but there's not a whole lot of action takers. So I like that David and he probably knew a bunch more people that were action takers. With him doing the military to millionaire, that's all he talks about is real estate. So I thought it'd be a good group, and I was just super pumped to join, and I'm glad that I did.
And I feel like there's like a part of me that should say like I talk about other things, but then I remember I'm supposed to only talk about real estate because that's how I get business
That's
and
right.
networking and everything else. So how do you think the mastermind group has impacted your business so far? I mean, we've only been around for a few months.
Oh man, it's super powerful because I think the biggest thing about the mastermind, education's nice. Having uh, catered content is good. Military and real estate, that's good. But the most powerful thing is just networking, and for whatever the price people are paying to join. I don't know if you're going to be raising prices or anything, but even if you did raise the price, I'd probably still pay just because of the power of your network is so important. Yeah, just being the top of mind, like when you guys have like real estate deals that come up. Like I know David, you pushed over some people to my business, and some of those are in the works of actually coming through, because it's relationship based. So they already know you. Them also knowing that it's like, oh, it's another military guy. Like there's an automatic bond that kind of happens, that helps with qualify people to do business with. So that, and then the support is has also really been nice. So we do calls every week or so, every couple weeks, and just being able to follow up with each other, even within our mastermind group. Like I've been able to go through the process of finding clients as well. And nothing like super salesy, but it's just they find out what you're doing, and you become the top of their mind. And if they know anybody else, or themselves, they might want to work with you.
So what would you say your favorite thing is about the group? I know you kind of hit on a bunch of that already, but like one thing that is like your favorite thing about the mastermind group.
I think it's just being with other military people, because it's to be able to understand, like like where a lot of us are talking while we're still in our uniforms, and it's just like coming during lunch breaks, or stepping out of the office. I think that's the best part. I don't think you can ever find. It's just like with anything, like it's a real tight bond, even a bunch of different services, and I think that's the best.
Yeah, 100% agree, man. It's we all kind of get each other, right? Know what we're all going through and the challenges that come with being an entrepreneur while being in the military. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a whole different connection over just real estate. What would you tell someone who was looking at getting into real estate and thinking about a mastermind group but wasn't sure?
Yeah, I think mastermind group can be your best return on investment. And it really just comes down to your network. There's a saying that I really like from this guy Russell Brunson. He says, you can either buy your way in, or you can work your way in. But if you wanna buying your way in is a whole lot quicker. So I could try to do other things to be able to connect with brilliant minds in the space. But if I just pay for a mastermind group, I can automatically get plugged in with a bunch of brilliant minds. And depending on how much you contribute and how much you connect within that space, you can become top of mind of those people as well.
You must be talking about you with brilliant minds, Stu, not this crayon eater over here.
Dude, smart people eat crowns, maybe.
Apparently.
Yeah. Uh, hey, so Julian, what would you say your favorite, book or resource or even just like an idea or something that you've gotten out of the mastermind group, either on the Facebook page or just on your small groups or our webinars. Like, what would one thing that you've learned since you've been in the group that has helped you in your business?
I think just I think it's kind of like the cumulative knowledge. There's a bunch of different people in a bunch of different niches. So a lot of, like wholesalers, flippers, stuff like that. Um, I'm not in that space, and a lot of times I almost feel like because I'm kind of in the short-term rental niche, I'm like, oh, that's not really related to me. But I think it's just hearing what other people are doing, like with direct mail, and like I just got someone in my group passed to me their contact info for like a voice leaves a voicemail, direct voicemail, and how he's been able to get leads through that. So it's just kind of opened up my mind to different creative possibilities that I could take within my niche. And yeah, I think that's powerful because again, you're just kind of taking people's knowledge and their experience and then compressing it, and you're basically getting a direct resource to all of their experience and all the things that they've tried and maybe failed at or found that are good.
That's awesome. What do you think your return on investment has been for the, monthly fee we have to charge? Because
Oh boy, like a dollar amount.
I mean, sure.
Um, I've been in the group for maybe 3 months now, and from that, I've gotten probably like about 4 people that have gone through kind of my pipeline, my funnel. Of those 4 or 5, one of them is under contract. So that's, I mean, my numbers are a little bit skewed because I'm in the short-term rental space, so,
True.
my dollar amount's a bit more, but yeah, it's probably like a 1,000 plus ROI so far.
So for those of you listening who don't know, we do have a little bit of a fee for the monthly mastermind. It is definitely reasonable, but the reason being that I know I think Stu did, but I know I tried 3 different free mastermind groups before I ever paid for one, and none of them made it past the first meeting. 2 of them didn't even make it to the first meeting. There's just something psychologically, if you don't pay for it, you don't find value in it. So you got to pay at least a little bit to play, otherwise you'll never. Anyway,
I'd say that that's a pretty good return.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm anticipating that it'll be much more in the future. So
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it's a no-brainer. Like
I mean,
after
sounds
this,
like
I'm
you're
just like,
good for the next whatever 1,000 minus 12 is years
Yeah. Yeah.
before you break even.
Well, cool. Well, we're going to try to keep this short. Julian, how can people get a hold of you if they have questions on short-term rentals or, joining a mastermind group or just getting started in general? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
I would say the best way would be to go to shorttermsage.com. That's kind of like where we show all of our content, offer resources. You can join the Facebook groups and connect with me there. I'm kind of all over online. So yeah, just shorttermsage.com. And would love to be able to answer any questions you guys might have.